Hi, and welcome back to Next Shift with Rick Wagan. Suzuki does not suck. This is the post-game show after another victory for the Montreal Canadiens in the preseason. It was a 3-0 uh, defeat over the New Jersey Devils, mostly AHL team. The Montreal Canadiens fielded a strong team with six forwards that are slated to be in the NHL and probably another two or three defensemen that are guaranteed to be in the NHL as well, and their number one goalie, Samuel Montembeault. So my first impression of tonight's game was it was probably a little more rusty than last night's game. The Canadians got off to a slow start. There was again a ton of penalties that they had to deal with, both penalty killing and power plays. I think everyone could see that the Montreal Canadiens power play was not doing great. Now we had players like Armia on the first power play. You had Matt, but yeah, you had the other four guys who are slated to be up there. I mean, you know me, I've been talking a lot about Lane Hutson as potentially being the quarterback of power play one. Well, if today was any kind of a dress rehearsal for the power play, we're looking at that change from Matheson to Lane Hutson coming quicker than we think. Now, this is game one for these guys in terms of preseason, game two for the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm not jumping off that bandwagon just yet. Um, I'm not, this game kind of reminded me of some of the challenges the Montreal Canadiens had on the power play. Um, I think they're trying to figure out where Caulfield's going to go with Line taking on the half boards on the left side, because that's been his home for years. It could be interesting once we see the real power play one get out there, and there's players like Doc, there's players like Hudson, Roy. There's a lot of talent on the team that can kind of slot instead of some of the people we've seen the last couple of nights. Pizzetta put a puck in the net. It was a great shot from the side. So he got his first goal, and then it was a nice deflection, redirection goal by Suzuki late in the game. That was a great play by William Trudeau to find him very quickly. And then there was an empty netter, and it happened to be Pizzetta again. So um, uh, today's game, I'm less excited about. The veterans. I didn't feel like the line of Gallagher, Evans, and Armia did anything defensively. I mean, offensively, they're definitely looking like the fourth line right now. I still anticipate some changes between the line three and four, as well as potentially some changes between the second line and the third line. The Slafkovsky, Caulfield, and Suzuki line didn't look like they were clicking too well tonight. Again, this is the preseason. A lot of these more veteran, I know they're old, they're young, but the veteran players have a hard time getting up for the game. When you saw Suzuki score, he wasn't very, very excited. He didn't even raise his arms. It's a preseason game. In the NFL, when you watch a preseason game, you don't even see starters. So the guys that are kind of locked in the first line, if they're not performing to the level you want them to perform at, you don't have to be worried just yet in game one of preseason. As we get closer to the end of preseason and obviously going into the early part of the season, we want to see another level of compete from players like Slafkovsky and Suzuki and Caulfield. Um, and again, I was like many, probably I was frustrated with Matheson. He had a hard time at the point on the power play. Didn't make the best plays. Didn't keep the puck in a couple times when he could have. Um, and then the second power play and the second, I guess the second, what do we want to call them? Rookies that are trying to fight for the team. When you look for Beck and Machar and Farrell, I thought Beck played a very solid 200-foot game. He He won his faceoffs. He was killing a lot of penalties. He did some good things offensively. Had three point blank opportunities. The challenge with him is he comes with a reputation of not bringing it enough offense. Although he had an amazing season last year from a goal scoring and point producing perspective in the OHL. He couldn't put the puck in on 3 point blank shots. Jack Guy had an opportunity too in front of the net and didn't put the puck in the net. There was a lot of opportunities in the last, the bottom six players. Nobody for me came off the page other than Beck. Machard did some good things, did some not so good things. He doesn't look ready yet, in my opinion. And then Farrell, same kind of thing. I think he played better than I expected. He's a good hockey player. He's obviously had a good year last year in the AHL. Um, Hopefully he just continues to progress and maybe he can take that next step. I was a fan of his in Harvard. He hasn't taken that level of skill into the NHL. He just doesn't look like he has the same confidence, although he played a pretty good game today. On defense today, I want to call out Mayu. I thought he played a much better game tonight than he did last night. I guess, you probably get one game under your belt, and he was pretty good last night. I just thought he was very good tonight. I felt like Reinbacher did quite a few good things. He wasn't flashy, didn't make any great plays, didn't make any bad plays that I can think of, off the top of my head. And so, but let's talk goaltending. I mean, Montembeault, you know, just looked solid. I mean, our top two goalies, if you want to call them that, Montembeault and Primo, looked very solid throughout the first two games. Connor Hughes looked good. Never even heard of that goalie, so apologize. I have to do a little bit of research on him, but he didn't look bad. He looked like he could stop the puck. And all in all, the Montreal Canadiens defense have gone 120 minutes without giving up a goal. I mean, there was one that we don't want to talk about that got between the legs of Primo in the first period of last night's game, but really, all in all, it's been a solid defensive and goaltending effort. And the forwards played some good defensive hockey, two-way hockey. So looking forward to Thursday's game. We'll see a new slate of players, but you know, can't be upset about a 5-0 and then 3-0 victory. It wasn't definitely wasn't a strong NHL club, although you had, Jake Allen, you had you had Kovacevic, you had Seamus Casey that just came, a young rookie that looks solid on defense. There's a few players out there that will play in the NHL. We'll see how it goes. Looking forward to the game against the Leafs on Thursday and see how the lineups and the players progress. From now, thanks. This was Next Shift with Rick Wagan, and Suzuki does not suck.